Lovely little tale of this cat that was found at an oil rig. So it went missing from home in Scotland and was found in a container that had come from Aberdeenshire, Peterhead in Aberdeenshire. And so when they found the cat, they filled in the little card saying that for stowaways, when they found for stowaways, saying that the night shift deck crew ran away upon opening the container and discovering One-Eyed Joe, as One-Eyed Joe is called, as they were frightened was cats, right? And it emerged that the cat had been a visitor to HMP Grampian in Peterhead. So the inmates and staff were feeding the cat and nicknamed him. Right. Anyway, he's been returned home to Bridie daughter, who said she was quite shocked to have her pet back. He'd always been a bit of a wanderer.
There's a lot going on in this story. So it went to a prison, and then from the prison it got in a container, and then from the container it got to an oil rig.
And there are lots of questions, and at 10 to 9 we're going to bring you the full story. I've just found out.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Now, to a tale of intrigue, mistaken identity, and finally a big reunion. Dexter the cat, known also as One-Eyed Joe, went missing 5 years ago.
I love this story. His family thought they would never see him again, but he turned up on an oil platform in the North Sea this week. How? And what has he been up to for the past 5 years? Rachel Bell takes up the story.
Here he is.
Hi, Dexter.
Hey, you're home.
Hello.
A welcome home for the weary wanderer. It's been 5 years since Dexter the cat left his home in Peterhead.
Have you been on a journey? And he kind of went away a few years ago and we've never heard anything about him since until it was all over Facebook. So never expected him to end up back here.
Dexter caused a stir on social media when workers on a North Sea platform shared a picture of him. He'd been found in a storage container. He was flown back to Aberdeen by helicopter and checked over by the Scottish SPCA.
He's in absolute tip-top condition, especially if he's been straying for 5 years. He's really looking good.
The SPCA thought Dexter was a stray called One-Eyed Joe, so nicknamed by staff at Peterhead Prison who've been feeding him for the past 5 years. He's been found in storage containers in the past, but it was this latest offshore adventure which sparked the attention of his owner.
We've just had a caller call through to say that she's been missing her cat for 5 years now. She's seen him on social media and couldn't believe that it was her cat.
Now back home, Dexter is getting reacquainted with his surroundings and the newest members of the family. But having spent the last few years at Peterhead Prison, his owner wonders if that's really where he's meant to be.
I believe that he was a bit of a therapy cat at the prison, so people have been in contact with me saying, you know, they would definitely welcome him back there, so I've said I'll have a conversation with him.
Wherever he ends up, it's hoped from now on, Dexter will keep his feet on dry land. Rachel Bell, BBC News.
I love it. Let's speak to Amy Finlay from the Scottish SPCA, who reunited Dexter with his family. She joins us now from Aberdeen. Nice to see you. Thanks for being with us on Breakfast this morning. What a journey that Dexter has had. How did you first get involved?
Yeah, so we were first alerted on Thursday morning by offshore workers to kind of let us know that the cat had arrived on the platform in a shipping container. So at this point, we obviously had no idea how the cat ended up there. So I'd arranged to collect him first thing on Friday morning. I think through the powers of social media, the story kind of grew arm and legs, and we later found out that the cat had been straying for 5 years. And that was how the owner actually came forward and recognised Dexter through social media.
I don't want to be a party pooper on this, but shouldn't there be sort of security to stop, you know, anyone or anything getting in that container?
Yeah, we did kind of think that ourselves, to be honest. I'm not sure, obviously, because he's quite accustomed to going into shipping containers. I think he's that comfortable that he might have found a really sneaky place to hide. And obviously, it was within the week that he was loaded into the container and then taken offshore. So it was relatively quick. So yeah, he was happy, but yeah.
I know you've spoken to the owners, obviously. Tell us what they say about One-Eyed Joe, because actually One-Eyed Joe wasn't one-eyed when he first left home.
No, so I believe from what the callers told us, that previously he lost his eye in an injury with going into a container. He was then taken by the SSPCA as a stray cat at the time, as we couldn't find the owner at that time. So the SSPCA actually removed One-Eyed Joe's eye, and again, through the powers of our social media, the owner then came forward and obviously took him home. He was kept in for about a month, and after his eye had healed up, he was then let out. And ever since that day, the owner's never seen him again. So that was about 5 years that he was missing for.
Who do you think misses him most, the owner or the inmates who kind of named him One-Eyed Joe?
Yeah, I kind of get the impression that the inmates and the Peterhead prison staff, they were really fond of him. Like the owner said, he was a therapy pet at the prison for many, many years. And I believe now that the owner has been in contact with the prison, and they're actually going to take One-Eyed Joe down to do some therapy sessions within the prison.
Well, it's a fascinating tale. It's certainly a very, it's not a shaggy dog tale, but do you know what I mean? Amy Finlay, Scottish SPCA Animal Rescue Officer, thank you very much for your time with us.
Thank you.
It feels quite fitting that the way to stop the cat getting out again is to put it in prison.
It does.
Put it back in prison, see whether it can get out again.
Have a think about that.